Everyone knows quarterback is the most important position in all of sports. The hopes and dreams of a fan base rest on their shoulders, and they're paid fittingly, with roughly half of them earning over $40 million per year. Therefore, it is crucial they keep themselves in pristine condition, ready to meet the physical demands of the league and achieve the greatest ability of them all, availability. So, let's learn from the best and get an insight into 10 NFL quarterbacks' insane diet and workout routines. Let's start with the reigning MVP. Clearly, whatever Lamar Jackson is doing is working. So if you want to live like an MVP, listen up. Continuing to operate at a high level on the football field means being ready and able to train wherever you are, even during the offseason. For this, Lamar relies on a simple circuit that utilizes resistance bands, dumbbells, and barbell movements. He told Men's Health that he does 3 sets of each exercise, with each one tailored to an aspect of his game. For example, he does 8 to 12 reps of resistance band curls, which improves his passing strength, which is extra important considering how much the weather can pose problems in Baltimore. 6 to 12 reps of both the dumbbell incline press and push-up to drag and row are done to improve his chest strength, before moving into Russian twists, which improve his all-important rotational skills. Finally, ab rollouts work on his core strength and stability, which is crucial for any quarterback who wants to be able to move around the pocket and still deliver pinpoint accurate throws. Lamar also credits yoga and Pilates for his success. He started doing 2 sessions of each during COVID, claiming that it relaxes his muscles and lets his mind breathe. When it comes to eating like an MVP winner, Lamar Jackson has one extra special pregame meal that has served him well his entire career. That meal would be shrimp Alfredo. He told CNBC, "They say pasta helps your brain. I feel like I go out with a level head and I can think." Aside from that specific pregame ritual, Lamar has had great success losing weight by limiting what he eats in the morning and doing a hell of a lot of cardio. Before the 2024 season, he got in the routine of just having a Jimmy Dean sausage or 2 in the morning, before letting the Ravens training staff take control. Considering how well Lamar played in that 2024 season, it's clearly a routine that worked. Now, we've just heard from a quarterback who takes solid care of their diet and workout routine. Our next quarterback, not so much. Josh Allen went on the Bussin' with the Boys podcast and went into detail about the various burgers he likes. His approach is that he simply focuses on caloric intake rather than worrying about what he calls all that other poop. Whenever he needs to lose weight, he just stops eating. Simple. However, prior to the 2024 season, he did admit that he hired a chef who cooked things without milk and butter, making things simple and clean. He says he took care of himself better than ever before, and it clearly worked, as the stud muffin delivered a second-team All-Pro season that put him in the running for the MVP award. So, does any more thought go into his workouts than his diet? Well, from this picture with his former teammate Gabe Davis, it is clear that he is no stranger to a gym session, which explains his outrageously powerful arm. We also know that he must spend plenty of time working on his cardio and strength due to his relentless physical running style. But arguably, the most important part of his workout routine actually focused on his mechanics. After struggling with accuracy throughout college and the first 2 seasons of his career, Josh Allen partnered up with Chris Hess, founder of Biometric, a movement analysis company. Chris used 3D technology to dissect Allen's throwing motion, identify problems, and fix them. They focused on his hip movements, and the results were remarkable. Allen's completion percentage jumped from 58.8% in 2019 to 69.2% in 2020, and he's been one of the league's elites ever since. Tom Brady is up next, who was renowned for his unusual diet that allowed him to play well into his 40s. The TB12 diet, as it is known, is based on mostly plant-based foods, which make up 80% of his intake, in comparison to 20% of animal-based foods. He eats balanced meals with lots of vegetables supplemented by pea protein-based smoothies throughout the day, which can be purchased as part of his TB12 brand. Almond butter is a regular for Brady, who snacks on nuts and seeds and gets his protein from plenty of eggs. When his sweet tooth hits, avocado ice cream is his choice. Oh, and on cheat days, Brady likes a pizza, just not the kind of pizza you're thinking of. His TB12 book includes a recipe for a cauliflower crust, which Brady would top with peppers, onions, spinach, and broccoli. The big no-nos for Tom are processed foods, such as white bread, chips, and any other foods with added sugar. When it comes to working out, Brady reportedly used to work 4 to 5 days a week, including making time for brain exercises. Frankly, it wouldn't be a surprise to find out that he does the same now. He would wake up at 5:30 a.m., get a pre-workout massage with his best mate, doctor, and business partner, Alex Guerrero, then get to work. A 40-minute resistance band workout would get things started before squats, lunges, planks, and shoulder exercises make up the movement part of his session. Recovery is obviously a crucial part of any workout process as well, so Tom will get a post-workout massage to increase blood flow, flush lactic acid, and expedite recovery time. Then, to cap it all off, he will work on his visual precision and cognitive function by doing 15 minutes of online brain exercises. That, my friends, is how you eat and train like the GOAT. Our next quarterback is another AFC stud in the form of Joe Burrow. In September 2024, he teamed up with Bose to share one of his gym sessions, which happened to be a lower body day. This includes sprints, weighted squat jumps, barbell squats, and single leg squats to work on his strength, power, and explosiveness. These have all been crucial in providing Joe with one of the most dangerous arms in the NFL, while also allowing him to shed potential sacks and be an effective scrambler when needed. To make sure Burrow is turning up to camp in as good a state as possible, Bengals head strength and conditioning coach and director of player performance, Joey Bose, has been in charge of his diet. He told the Bengals website about how timing is actually just as important as the food itself, saying that they were prioritizing feeding Burrow food that wouldn't make him too full. For example, he said that they didn't want him filling up too much on veggies first and missing out on the things of high caloric value and the things he needed to repair and restore. To take care of his meals at home, Joe Burrow used his first paycheck to get a personal chef named Jose Salazar. Jose focuses on lean proteins and avoids dairy, serving up large portions for his QB client. These dishes are full of grains and vegetables and, of course, plenty of protein to keep him in game day shape. Salazar also admitted that Joe likes things spicy, so chili peppers are a regular feature. Next up, Brock Purdy. As one of the youngest and quietest quarterbacks in today's video, Brock Purdy's diet is relatively unknown. What we do know is that the 49ers as an organization insist their players start the day with protein, complex carbs, fruits, and vegetables, as these will kickstart their metabolism and fuel their brains. Their primary message is to fill half of your plate with vegetables at every meal, as they contain plenty of antioxidants, nutrients, vitamins, and minerals. The other rules the 49ers want their players to live by include eating your biggest meals at the times of day when you are most active, so you burn off the calories rather than storing them, and following the 80-20 rule when it comes to food you love. They aren't the fun police after all, so the 49ers believe that their players should follow their fueling plan 80% of the time, leaving 20% for foods that aren't quite so good. For Purdy, his cheat day food is a trip to In-N-Out, where he orders a 3x3 burger with a side of fries and a chocolate milkshake. Mouth-watering. Workout-wise, Purdy also tends to keep himself to himself. We do know that he came into the 2024 season slightly stockier thanks to a preseason stint in Jacksonville. Here, Purdy got on the weights to improve his throwing velocity and also tinkered with his throwing motion with the 3D motion capture specialist. After Purdy's rookie season ended with a brutal UCL tear in the elbow, there hasn't been much time for him to share his workout routines with fans, but this information will surely start to come out as his career goes on. Our next quarterback is renowned for having one of the strongest arms in the NFL, so getting an insight into his workout routine and diet could be a game changer for any up-and-coming QBs. Justin Herbert took the NFL by storm initially with lousy coaching by setting a new record for most passing yards in a quarterback's first 5 seasons with 21,093, and this is how he has set himself up for success. After starting out his career on Subway sandwiches and pizza, Herbert quickly realized he was going to need a better diet, so he underwent food sensitivity testing to look at the vitamins, minerals, and amino acids that he may be deficient in. Once the results were in, Herbert hired a private chef who has furnished him with eggs and toast for breakfast, plenty of pasta and bread throughout the day, and protein shakes after every workout. His secret sauce is tart cherry juice, which is proven to reduce muscle pain, making it a key part of his recovery process. The bulk of Justin's workouts are focused on tons of internal and external rotation exercises. During the season, he's not looking at adding muscle, instead merely trying to maintain what he has, especially considering how well his arm has worked for him throughout the first 5 years of his career. The biggest risk for quarterbacks like Herbert is wearing out his arm with too much work. And when asked about this by Peter King, Herbert said he relies on as much rest and ice whenever he can get it to keep himself primed and ready to go. He also admitted that the simple act of warming up and stretching can never be underestimated as a key factor in helping minimize soreness and arm fatigue, while also allowing him to maintain the flexibility that you need to play this game. The great thing about the NFL is that players come in all shapes and sizes. So as we transition from the 6'6" Justin Herbert to the 5'10" Kyler Murray, we can get a sense of how different types of quarterbacks cater for their bodies in different ways. Whereas Herbert relies on his strong arm to get the job done, Murray will be toying with defenders with his dangerous tiny legs. The priority for Kyler has always been to find the perfect balance of adding enough mass to help his body hold up in the physical NFL, but without sacrificing too much speed. Buddy Morris, the Cardinals' strength and conditioning coordinator, perfectly summed this up by saying he trains Kyler Murray as if he is a sprinter, as his legs are so valuable. With some help from his longtime trainer as well, Stephen Baca, Murray focuses on lifting lighter weights as fast as he can, which keeps his fast twitch muscle fibers sharp. His leg strength is built up using a machine called the Pitch Shark, and he also goes through single leg exercises such as plyometrics, hopping, jumping, leaping, and bounding workouts. Of course, the best way to work on sprint speed is to simply sprint, and Murray does a lot of that, doing multiple reps of 10 and 15-yard sprints alongside longer tempo runs, which are run at 75 or 80% of his sprint pace. These work on his stride techniques. Diet-wise, Kyler is an advocate for a plant-based diet, emphasized by his role as a Just Egg ambassador. He undertook this role as he believes in healthy and clean ingredients that will help him perform. These plant-based egg alternatives are also stocked full of protein he needs to maintain and build muscle mass. From one dual-threat quarterback to another, we now turn our attention to Philadelphia Eagles star Jalen Hurts. Hurts is your classic first-in, last-out kind of leader, reportedly still working out in the Eagles' facility 3 to 4 hours after the rest of the team has left. The guy has become famous for his incredible squatting ability, with Sports Illustrated detailing how he joins in with the offensive linemen's lifting sessions and even outdoes them sometimes. Chest presses, core rollouts, hamstring exercises, and air squats are a regular part of the Jalen Hurts workout routine. Strength has always been a huge part of his game, and the big reason why the Eagles' iconic tush-push play has been so successful. These clips from his freshman season at Alabama tell you all you need to know about the natural strength this guy has and how much work he has always put in the weight room. When it comes to fueling up, Jalen Hurts' first priority has always been to drink lots of water and absolutely stay away from sugary drinks as much as possible. He also enjoys constantly mixing things up when it comes to his diet, keeping things fresh with an ever-changing rotation of food. The key elements that will stay the same, though, are a good dose of protein and water. When it comes to a guilty pleasure, Hurts' go-to is Popeye's chicken with Louisiana sauce. At just 26 years old, Jalen Hurts is doing all the right things, but he may want to pick up some tips from our next quarterback who just wrapped up the 2024 season at 41 years old. That quarterback is, of course, Aaron Rodgers. The former Green Bay legend spoke to Men's Health about the changes he had to make later in his career to continue playing at a high level, stating that he switched over to a keto diet that really focuses on his carb intake and, more importantly, the timing of his carb intake. The logic behind this is that it makes his body burn fat first. Like many quarterbacks in this video, Rodgers also follows a mainly plant-based diet without any dairy. That's not to say that he never has any meat though, as he does occasionally eat chicken or red meat. All of this is supplemented by multivitamins and magnesium, which round out his well-thought-out diet. Workout-wise, Rodgers prioritizes his back in workouts, saying that he loves the bench press in particular. He also says that the core is incredibly important for quarterbacks, starting with the legs, hip rotation, and shoulder rotations, which lay the foundations for passing the ball. His go-to core exercises are body saws, either on the ground or on a Swiss ball. For his legs, Rodgers does plenty of lunges and squats, focusing on a high number of reps rather than weight. When it comes to recovery, Rodgers cites sleep as the most important element, revealing that he has an amethyst biomat that he lies on, which stimulates circulation and decreases inflammation. On top of all this, Rodgers has always been an advocate for yoga and Pilates, which have played a big part in him being able to enhance his flexibility and achieve restorative sleep. For your final quarterback, we will be looking at the man responsible for the Kansas City Chiefs dynasty. Patrick Mahomes' days start bright and early, usually between 6 and 7 a.m., with a workout or therapy session. Constant recovery work is key as well, though, so he makes sure to follow this first session up with a mix of sauna, hot tub, stretching, and massages. The early mornings are essential, allowing Mahomes to execute his other most important job, being a dad. These give him as much time as possible in his busy schedule for his kids. During the season, Mahomes will get in 8 to 10 hours of specialized training per week alongside all of his team practices. Performance coach Bobby Stroop is in charge of these workouts, setting the 3-time Super Bowl champion up with a variety of med ball work, track work, sled work, sprint drills, and strength training exercises that are designed to help him improve his agility, explosiveness, speed, and strength. The med ball is key to improving his core strength and throwing power, allowing him to deliver his devastating deep passes and off-platform darts. To improve his general power and agility, a Pat Mahomes workout includes single-leg broad jumps, hurdle bounds, and 10-yard sprints. These exercises are responsible for the vintage Mahomes scramble, which is often seen at its best in the playoffs, eluding the rush and making defenders look silly en route to a first down. For strength, the workout will include front foot elevated split squats, 3-position isometric pull-ups, cable push-pulls, weighted hip thrusts, and more. When it comes to diet, Mahomes sticks to 3 meals a day, and he loves his fruit. Strawberries, oranges, and apples are top of the list, making up for a lack of snacks, candies, and desserts, which have all been removed from his diet. Mahomes classifies himself as a picky eater, but says that chicken and salmon are his favorite meals for protein consumption. So there you have it. Have any of these diets or workout routines surprised you? Let us know in the comments.